Namaste, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to Friday. It's finally Friday. And this is a special Namaste audio report for Friday, November 11th, 2016. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, Sensei Christopher Witecki, at your service and proud to be here today. Namaste. Now, this is a special audio Namaste today. I do intend to shoot a video Namaste, and I was hoping I could put it out today. But things got a little complicated. It's really hot here in Southern California. My flowers weren't quite looking lively enough, and Bella was in a bad mood. So I'm going to shoot my new Namaste today, this weekend, and you'll have a video Namaste today out by the end of the weekend. And these new Namastes cover a full week. I've decided to do just a weekly show. They're a bit longer, but it's my old smiling face and happiness that you're used to. Many people have commented that they miss seeing me on video. And I just want to be clear that you will be getting a video from me every Friday that covers the next week. You'll also be getting blogs that cover 4 days a week during the weekdays. And if you're a Serious Joy subscriber, you get an audio pep talk 6 days a week. So I'm going to be very active. I'm going to be very much by your side. But I just cannot afford the energy and time it takes to shoot 5 shows a week, especially as my audience has always stayed at a certain size and not really grown large enough to afford the investment. So I'm scaling down in proportion to interest and my available energy. I hope you understand. I'm still here for you as Sensei. And remember, if you want daily guidance, then certainly join my personal Sensei service where I'm with you literally 12 times a day, 7 days a week. Another exciting announcement I have is starting next week, I will be doing my readings again. I took a bit of a break with readings because I've been dealing with some headaches and some side effects of the medication and haven't really been in a place to do my personal readings. But I will be firing them up next week. I want to say thank you to all the people who were patient and had to be rescheduled. We're doing our best, and you should find that you've gotten a new date from us. If you're wondering where your date is or you didn't get the email, please contact us at support@seriousjoy.com or call our Ambassador of Goodwill, Jill, at the phone number listed on the Namaste Today page or our Contact Us page. Also, I want to announce a reading sale. I am posting a reading sale. It goes into effect as of today. Big discounts on my hour, 30-minute, and even some money off my 15-minute readings. And I've changed my reading schedule. I used to do readings all day on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But now I've realized that was too much stress on me, and although I did a good job, I think my 7 p.m. reading was as good as my 11 a.m. reading, I think it's smarter now to stretch them out. So, to accommodate this sale, I've actually added some time to each day, and I have a 6-day-a-week schedule. So, I'll be doing 2 or 3 readings, depending on if they're hours or whatnot, 6 days a week. I think this is a great solution for me, so that I can really just get into spirit for a few hours and then get out again. Keeps me connected, keeps me in Holy Communion, and keeps me doing what I do best. I am a really great reader. If you like me on camera, if you like me on the radio, you'll love me in a personal reading. One reading will change your life. I encourage you to sign up if your heart wants it. It'll help both of us because I've basically been without an income for the last month, and I'm not going to have a lot of time in the new year. So come on down if you want to know more about it. There'll be links on the Namaste Today page. And also, if you have any questions, contact our customer service. So let's move on now to today's topic. Today's topic deals with fear. In fact, today the Sun conjuncts Black Lilith at Step 19 Scorpio. Step 19 means that we are manifesting today. And I really wanted to do this show to talk about fear because I'm concerned, not afraid, that many of you might be manifesting your worst fears. Why is that? Well, if you've studied with me long enough, you know that I always preach and teach what you be is what comes. And this recent Trump election has inspired more fear in the planet than I have seen in my entire life. I'm seeing light walkers fall into fear. I'm seeing viewers that I've worked with for years fall into fear. I'm seeing negativity. And these are all from the people who are normal light walkers, who walk in the light. And I really want to express my concern that you're moving in the wrong direction if you're afraid. I know many of you are afraid about lesbian, gay, and transgender rights. I know many of you are afraid about racism. I know many of you are afraid about the topic of deportation. And I'm not arguing that these are serious topics, but I am arguing with you about living in fear over it. I have been blogging my heart out about the two different worlds you can live in, fear or hope. And I want to underscore what I believe the apocalypse is. It does not matter who is triggering your fear. If you choose to live in fear, you're going to law of attract the very situations you fear. I promise you. This is the way it works. And this is what Spirit is trying to teach us all at this time. We are not in a bubble without power. We are all aspects of God. Aspects of God means you are a little mini God. You are learning to manifest your reality. You are not under the power of the president. You are not under the power of the government. You are your power. You manifest and create the realities that you see. Now, I can't have this conversation with most people on earth because most people on earth are not ready to accept this truth. When you're a young soul, or at least young at manifesting on earth, you tend to want to blame everything but yourself, and it's difficult. You don't want to accept reality as being something you created, because that would mean you'd have to accept the fact that everything that bad that's happened to you was your cause. But if you study with me, I want to teach you the real nature of the universe. And the real nature is what you be is what comes. Now that President Trump has been elected, many liberals and light walkers and people who are normally calm have gone into a state of fear. They're arguing on Facebook, they're posting things, and all I hear are statements that come from fear. And some of you have kind of argued with me online, and I want you to know I'm not arguing with the ideas that you're coming up with or the concerns you have. I'm protesting your fear, that you're falling into your own fear, and you're going to manifest the very things you are afraid of. Now here's what's really silly. What's silly is, for the last 8 years under President Obama, police brutality has gone up. All right? We've seen the police literally attacking different races, killing them, particularly black and Latino, and unarmed citizens. Where was your fear then? I didn't see you protesting. I didn't see you Facebooking. I frankly didn't see many people caring at all. I've also seen poverty go up from 12 to 15 and back to 13%. So we've never been more poor and divided as a nation than we were under Obama. Where was your concern then? I've seen genetically modified foods go up in the last 8 years. I've seen pharmaceutical influence and manipulation go up in the last 8 years. I've seen healthcare costs go up in the last 8 years. For lesbian and gay, we had a lot of good progress with gay marriage, but we're fighting over whether or not a transgender person can go to the bathroom in the last 3 years. Where was your fears then? Where was your protest then? You have to look at what fear is, false evidence. There's no evidence that Mr. Trump is going to do the things you think he might do. In fact, that's a key word, think. I'm not seeing my viewers operate from their heart. Some of you, I'm not saying all of you, and I'm not really trying to I'm trying to really be what I'm here to be, which is a source of light and to let you know that your fears are going to get you in trouble. You must stay in the state of hope. I don't expect faith at this stage, because faith comes from time and experience and seeing the universe show up for you. But I am going to really be a stubborn Taurus about holding your hope, about reserving your judgment until there is evidence of what your mind is thinking, not what your heart is telling you. Now, many of you have told me that your heart is telling you everything will be fine, and I want you to know Sensei is so proud of you for listening to your heart. To me, this is part of the test of what's going on in the Great Transition. Now, let me give you a little background astrologically on the period that we're in. If you've been watching me since 2005 when I first went on the air, which was 12 years ago, by the way, this is my 12th year, starting in January, of taking action to help empower the light. You knew that I had said that we will go through a revolution, a re-evolution in our lifetime. Now, I didn't know what would trigger the revolution, but I did know what the revolution would be about. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're not in the age of Leo. We're not in the age of Pisces. And what that means is, this age of Aquarius is not about some leader saving the day or some spiritual leader, being crucified and dying for our sins. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the age of the individual. The individual coming into their own independent power, realizing that they are an aspect of the glory of God, and learning how to manifest a reality and ascend out of a 3D fear-based world into a 5D glory and love-based world. Now, not everyone's going to make this ascension. The people who collapse at the knees under Donald Trump and who don't take their power and stand up will attract their own hell. And I do believe that those of us who ascend to a 5D world, live in our hearts, and live by hope, will not law of attract the bad situations that we see. We will not suffer, but we will see, just over the corner or just around the corner, that our brothers and sisters living in fear do suffer because they're not ready to stand in their age of Aquarius autonomy and their power. So today the Sun conjuncts Black Lilith at step 19. Today you are manifesting what you be to come. Today you are choosing if you're on the side of fear or you're on the side of hope. And yes, you can cross back if you made the wrong choice, but that's not how reality tends to work, because everything builds on top of everything. And so if you choose to live in your fear, worried about what may happen, then you're going to find yourself on the side of fear, and it will just keep getting larger and greater. Now, during the week of Thanksgiving on November 21st, we will begin the story you were born to live. Some of us were born to live on the side of fear and play the story of fear. Some of us were here to live an example of love and hope and play the side of hope. You must know that in heaven, it doesn't matter what side you take. In fact, this is a good time to respond to some people's comments about the idea of Trump being a saint. In fact, I would say some people have been incredibly rude to me on Facebook and in some cases on my own site about me being forthright about what I saw with Saint Germain and President Trump. And they've basically called me insane for calling a man like him a saint. Well, let me respond in due kind to that idea. If you think a saint is a person who comes down and does everything really good and perfect and by the book and sacrifices their whole life for somebody else, then you are imprisoned in the Roman Catholic Church belief structure and the creation of Emperor Constantine's Religion of Rome. God does not see a saint as a perfect person. Now, I know this from my meditation, my practice, and my own personal relationship with God. I also know this from reading books like Conversations with God, talking to the angels, so my credibility is created by my own relationship to heaven. I don't really care if you believe me or not, but I will share with you what I know. I know that life is actually about experiencing life. When we're up in heaven, God says, who wants to experience enlightenment from 3D to 5D? And we all raise our hands and go, oh, I want to. I want to see my life open up from 3D to 5D. I want to feel the experience of enlightenment on earth. I want to start asleep and wake up and experience what it's like to wake up. I want to be in that lifetime, God. I want to incarnate. And then God says, okay, who wants to play the side of this experience that teaches others to be in the light? And a bunch of us raise our hand and go, oh, I want to be the one who teaches people how to be in the light. And then God says, who wants to volunteer to play the dark characters in our little play, to inspire the light to stand up and be strong? And a whole bunch of characters raise their hand and go, oh, I'll play the bad guy. That'll be fun. I want to experience, turning my back on God and seeing what happens. Now, to God's perspective, this is about a ride. This is like a Disneyland attraction. This is an experience for you to experience who you really are. So a saint in God's eyes is a soul that goes down and does the job they said they do. So Hitler was a saint. He was an evolved soul that came down, went really dark, really was brave in allowing himself to be hated by the entire world. And when he got back up there, God said, good job. You inspired everyone to stand up in their own power, find their own glory of God, and in his own way, he learned about who he was and who he wasn't. And perhaps he learned he was not dark, and perhaps he learned he did not want to be dark. Now, don't go running off and calling me a Hitler worshiper or a fascist, because I'm not. But I will tell you that this is the way it works in heaven. We choose the roles that we play so that we can experience being these roles. I believe President Trump is playing a role. I also believe the role is not to be your savior, not to be your Age of Leo hero, but rather to get you off the couch and put down your iPhone and come into your power. Now, I will say that I'm very happy to see liberals marching in the streets. I'm very happy to see people who have done nothing or just observed for the last 12 years standing up and saying something. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs for people to come in their power, and it wasn't until you saw a potentially dark president come into power that you've come into your own awakening. Bravo! I am so happy. So this to me is a beautiful spiritual moment where finally the people with wonderful potential to change the world are standing up. I haven't seen the lesbian and gay community united since AIDS. All right, now they are uniting. Now they are waking up. Now they are really coming in their power. African Americans and Mexican Americans, they've been hiding in these shadows and afraid, but they're standing up now. It's beautiful. And maybe Trump is aware of all this. I think he's a little wiser than you think. I think he deliberately creates controversy. He never says he's going to do something. He says he's going to consider it. Now, what he's doing is throwing ideas out there. And I'm not going to be all pro-Trump all the way. In fact, he's inspired me. It's like, I don't like his policies on the environment. I don't like his policies on the pipeline. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to get myself in front of that man, and I'm going to talk to him about these things that I don't like. He's inspired me. I thought I was already a light walker and already doing a great job, but he has inspired me. So the point here, folks, is that sometimes it takes controversy to get us to move. There's a story and a rumor that Franklin Delano Roosevelt knew the Japanese were going to attack us. He knew it. But the United States was sitting on their butt, not caring about the Jews being killed, not caring about their brothers and sisters across the world, and he let the Japanese attack Pearl Harbor because it was only then, under the threat of the attack, that the American people rose up and cared about their fellow brothers and sisters who've been dying under Hitler's horrible fascism and the atrocities that were happening. He'd been meeting with the world leaders, but he couldn't get people to budge or care because they'd gone into an isolationism period and a selfish period after World War I. The job here of the Age of Aquarius is for each individual to discover their personal power, their personal magic, and their personal ability to channel the glory of God and manifest the reality that they want. This is a golden opportunity for everyone to stand up and be who they really are, to shine the way they are meant to shine. And it may take a Pearl Harbor president to get you off of your iPhones and into action. And Sensei is so proud. It's time to move ahead and be the soul you were born to be. In the next 36 hours over the weekend, we are going to move into the final stages of where you will end up in the great story. We're going to go through a period, in my opinion, that is as powerful as all the events we've experienced. In fact, just to give you some idea, Pluto is in the same place it was during the American Revolution. Uranus is in the same place it was during World War II when Hitler entered into Poland. Well, just about. It's on its way. And Neptune is in the same place as the American Civil War. So we are facing the cultural karma of the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and World War II all at once. And you may go, oh my God, the universe is giving us too much. No, my friends. We're ascending out of 2,000 years of bullshit and darkness. We're coming into our power, and we're eradicating all of these tendencies in one fell swoop. And coming on Thanksgiving, really November 21st, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that's day one of who you really are. This weekend, we will have a supermoon, a super full moon in Taurus. Now, this moon usually comes around Halloween. This moon is basically the new year. In fact, the pagans celebrated New Year's on this moon because the moon in Taurus is birth, the sun in Scorpio is death, and so this opposition is the line between life and death. This opposition this weekend is the line between fear and hope. And if you are on the side of hope, you'll find that you're on the side of faith, and you'll find that you're on the side of God's team to teach the light in the upcoming re-evolution. If you're on the side of fear, then you'll find yourself on the side of suffering and on the side of despair in the transition of the re-evolution. When we get back to heaven, everyone gets kudos and everyone gets patted on the back by a Creator, because at the end of the day, there is no good and bad, there is no judgment. A saint is someone who listens to their heart and who follows their own personal spiritual plan. And in some cases, that is living in fear. But if you're watching my show and you're in my dojo, we're not playing those games this lifetime. In fact, I'll leave you with one final little point here. Whenever I do a reading for someone and I see that they are here to do good this lifetime and to serve in the light, I can look in their past lives, and in their past lives, they were the bad guy. So all of you living in your heart, you already did the bad guy role. That's why you're so sure that you're in the light. So basically, I want you to know that I'm not judging anyone on what side they're on. I'm here to coach the light, because I've already killed in the name of Christ during the Crusades and realized that was stupid. You don't kill in the name of Christ. And I've already lived in my ego, and I've already had hubris, and I've already done these things. And I relived these things as a young man because I was going through my past life remembrance. But I know in my heart I play a different role now. I've already discovered who I am not, and I am ready to become who I really am, which is an aspect of God and an aspect of love. If you are looking at these things with love, you will never go wrong. But if you're looking at these events in politics through the eyes of fear, you're asking for trouble, and you're asking to manifest what you're most afraid of. So this weekend in the supermoon, my friends, this is the final line that will determine what side you're on, fear or hope. And yes, you can turn around later, but reality builds kind of like in an incremental way. So once you're far down the woods and down a path, it's very hard to turn around and join the others. So I recommend living in your heart, loving yourself and others, and being the brightest soul you can be. I hope this has offended nobody. My heart is here to help everyone grow, and I'd like us all to be kind and loving to each other in this delicate process. Have a great supermoon. Remember, I love you, and live, love, be.